Hi, my name is Lerato Ndlovu. I'm a career counselor from the Department of Employment and Labor. I'll be doing a 3-part video on interview preparation. This video will be divided into 3 parts. So the first part, we're going to talk about what to do before the interview. That means preparation, research, and planning. Part 2, during the interview, putting your best foot forward. Part 3, after the interview, means a time to reflect. Now we're going to do part 2. During the interview and how to put your best foot forward. The purpose of the job interview is to give the employer the opportunity to meet and evaluate the applicant for a position in the organization. It is a chance for the employer to ask questions. The questions an interviewer may ask will depend on the particular job and the type of a person that they are looking for. It only takes 7 seconds to create a good impression. So therefore, you need to be dressed neatly. Make sure that your clothes are ironed and neat and professional. Maintain a good posture. Ensure that you smile, be approachable and friendly. Maintain appropriate eye contact. Have a firm handshake and be energetic and enthusiastic when you are answering the interview questions. Remember that interviewers are people, and people are excited by people who excite them. Most employers use the competency or behavioral style of questioning. The best way to respond to these questions is to ensure that you know the STAR method. The STAR method means S is situation, T is for task, A is for action, and R is for result. And I'm going to tell you about it just now. The STAR method interview is a technique of answering behavioral interview questions clearly and concisely using real-life examples to support your answer. Like I said, STAR stands for situation, task, action, and result. When using this technique to answer an interview question, you need to clearly define a specific situation that you have experienced in your previous employer. Whether it's at a volunteering opportunity or where you worked before, or even during school activities or university if you've never worked before. Right? So the interviewer is going to ask you to describe what your role in the situation was. So you need to explain the actions that you took to overcome the situation and describe the final results. Using this method helps you answer the questions concisely using real-life examples. So let me give you more tips on how to answer interview questions. You need to write down your answer, and then you need to read it carefully to check if it makes sense. If it does make sense, then you need to memorize it. Tell us about yourself is the only question that you have control over, so then you need to master it. Speak no longer than 30 seconds when you are responding to an interview question. Longer than that, you will be mumbling. You need to maintain appropriate eye contact. Ensure that whenever the person asks a question, you look them straight in the eyes. If another interviewer asks a question, look at them in the eyes. Never respond and not look at the person who asked you the question. And remember, you need to smile. Each time that you feel nervous, you need to remember to breathe. There's a couple of breathing exercises that you can find on the net, so please make sure that you go through all the breathing exercises to work through the nerves. Now, tips to consider when you attend state or government interviews is that you need to make sure that you have studied carefully the requirements of the job from the job advertisement, from the job ad. You need to know all the relevant acts and policies that are required in the job. You need to master the application of Batupili principles. And you need to make sure that you have real-life examples of how you have incorporated Batupili principles. You need to be familiar with the audit requirements and all the standard operating procedures required to perform the duties. You can also make use of the STAR method when answering competency-based questions. For an example, they'll be asking you, tell us about a time when you had to work as a team member. Therefore, you need to ensure that you have a practical example ready to display your competence. Other competency-based questions have to do with dealing with conflict, how do you overcome a difficult situation, and so on and so forth. That concludes part 2.